This past summer and fall, I left beautiful Los Angeles, California to embark on a 2.5-month journey throughout Asia. Whether it was with my friends, my family, or myself, each destination and experience was unforgettable and inspirational in its own way. 10 countries, 27 cities, 17 planes, and countless trains, buses, car rides, and walks. Oh, and a lifetime of memories. And you're coming along with me for the ride. Our 7th destination, Philippines. We landed in our first city of Manila. If there's one thing you should know about Manila is that traffic is crazy. Dare I say worse than LA traffic? Just to get 5 miles can take you at least an hour. Because of this, my friend's friend who lives there suggested that we stay out of the city and in Malacca City. However, most of our activities were in Manila anyway, so we should have just stayed in the city. We found that there really wasn't much to do in Manila. Most of our time spent in the mainland was dedicated to Intramuros, a walled city that was occupied by the Spanish during its colonization. You'll find old forts and off-limit buildings used during the colonization. There are some that you can visit, and we decided to visit Fort Santiago, since it was one of the biggest structures there. There's tuk-tuks that will offer to give you a tour, but trust me, everything is walkable. Agustin Church is a beautiful Catholic church I highly recommend you go visit. There's an attached museum, but unless you're into religious history, it really wasn't worth it for us. The next day we visited Paco Park. It's a nice park to stroll around, but there really shouldn't be an entrance fee because there's not that much to it. At night we visited the Divisoria Market, which was so sketchy. It was so dark and then it had a post-apocalypse feel. The only ride available was a tuk-tuk, but there was some serious miscommunication and we had to stop the ride to catch a taxi, where we also had trouble settling on a reasonable price. The next day we flew to the beautiful island of Cebu. We stayed in Santander, which is 3 hours away from the airport. People will try to hustle you and give you a ridiculous rate for their private vans and will say the bus is expensive, uncomfortable, and a hassle. We ended up believing them and got a taxi and paid around 90 USD when really I only paid 5 USD to get back to the airport via bus. Anyway, we reached our private resort, which I wish I caught some footage of because it was so beautiful and because we had our own private beach area and patio overlooking it. Best of all, it was only $28.50 a night. Our hotel recommended us Aguinid Falls, and it was probably one of the best experiences on this whole Asia trip. If you want a guide that will help you climb and get through the waterfalls, you pay based on tips. We had 2 guides and they were of great help with navigating us through the 10-level course and helping us climb through slippery rocks. Plus, they can help you take pictures. Each of us ended up paying 300 pesos to each tour guide. Not only was the water so pure and warm, the view and environment were amazing. It was just us the whole way, so it wasn't crowded with either locals nor tourists.
Yeah.
Because we basically had the whole waterfall to ourselves. It was such a serene and tranquil experience, and one of those moments when you realize just how beautiful nature really is. It's definitely exactly how I imagined going to a tropical destination to feel like. It's so hard to describe in words how amazing it was, but I was so sad to leave when the sun was setting. Having the guides to give us a trip back to our hotel on their scooters during sunset really put a nice touch to the end of our day.
Hi everybody!
On my last day in the Philippines, we took a boat to Sumilon Island for the sandbar, but it was covered when we went. The locals explicitly tell you that they overcharge tourists and give a cheap price to locals. It didn't really bother me that they differentiated the prices, but I did feel like the tourist price was a bit expensive. We wanted to go shark watching, but I felt like the price wasn't worth it. But enjoying the crystal clear blue waters of Sumilon Island was just enough for us. After, we ate a really nice seafood lunch back on the other side. There was a stray cat that kept jumping up on our table, and we just let the cat have it after we finished. To end our trip, we visited Kawasan Falls, this time touted with both tourists and locals. The three waterfalls are a lot larger and powerful in size, so I can see why it's often crowded. While still magnificent, I still preferred Aguinid Falls because of the fact that it was so small, intimate, and secluded.
Look how tiny it is. Baby. No.
Don't go. Making a poopy.
Believe that. No.
Come here, get away from these weirdos. So right now it's 3:30 a.m. and I'm on the bus to the airport. My couple. It's going to be about a 4-hour bus ride, and I transfer to a taxi to the airport, then a flight to Manila for about an hour and a half, then I transfer to another airport, and I'm like, still sick. About 6 hours later, I catch another flight to Japan, and I don't arrive until 8, so today is going to be full of traveling. While Philippines has some of the most beautiful islands in the world, and I do eventually want to visit the rest of them, what I love about Cebu and Santander in particular is that for the most part it isn't packed with tourists, so we got to experience the mainly unaltered natural landscape and local community.
Tell me what you waiting for.
Thanks for joining me in the Philippines! Can you guess where I'm off to next? You'll have to find out next week. Check out my latest travel pictures on Instagram and to see when the next video is up. In the meantime, check out one of my last videos. Bye!